All right, not to be outdone, though, multiple Democrats have posted bizarre videos of themselves lifting weights because, well, the research says to do it before taking swipes at President Trump and Republicans. I wonder if this is straight out of the tens and tens of millions of dollars the Democrats have been spending on how to communicate with men. All the research they put into this, you know, try and appear less scripted, not be less scripted, appear less scripted. Also, how to talk to men. Hey, bro, do you want to go get a brewski? You know, maybe we should curse more and be more like Donald Trump. But as their struggles now mount, the left continues to spread lies and fear. This time, Chucky Schumer claiming Republicans do not want poor people and people of color to vote. Take a look.
They don't want poor people to vote. They don't want people of color to vote. They don't want Democrats to vote. They don't believe in democracy. We do.
Racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic, dirty water, kill grandma and grandpa. Here with reaction, Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne. Will this help?
No, it's not believable. I mean, just look what Eric Swalwell was doing. I mean, if he actually wanted to be real rather than sitting there saying whatever words he was that he's trying to work out with 135 pounds, which any man with self-respect would laugh at, what he really should have been talking about is, I wonder if this will help me win back Fang Fang, because that's actually more believable. They don't understand what the base is wanting because they think the base still wants woke and socialism, and they can't get off center because of it. So now they hired some expert, Sean, to come in and tell them what they need to do to be more relatable. And really all they need to do is just be yourself. How about you just start with being honest? But the Democrat Party hasn't been honest with the American people for at least 8 years, right? I mean, we can go back to Obama drumming up this whole Russia escapade against President Trump. And I would say it probably goes back much farther than that.
Okay, so they spend tens of millions of dollars to become more relatable and, you know, try to appear this way, try to appear that way, try to communicate this way. It just screams inauthentic to me. Why would they go and double down on that?
Because they don't know what the American people want. I mean, why they're cutting TikToks, we're trying to save America taxpayers' money and keep it out of Washington, D.C.'s hands and actually keep it in the hands of the American people, and they're voting the opposite way. They can't get out of their way, Sean, because they are lost themselves. You see there's a 30-point swing in favorability and unfavorability in the Democrat Party, and guess what, Sean? That's with their own voters. So if their own party doesn't know what they want, the rest of America has no idea what they want, and the people they elected, the Democrat Party, the people they elected, most definitely don't know what their base wants.
They've learned nothing since November of last year.
Absolutely right.
Not a thing. All right, Senator, thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.